Hello. Controlling the flow of a Cobol program means using the following. Go to, perform, if else. Now I've already mentioned perform, if and if else in previous videos, but this video is going to be about go to, what it is, what the difference is between it and perform, and why you shouldn't use it. And it may seem odd that I'm going to do a video on something to why you shouldn't use it, but keep watching, you'll find out why it's important to understand about GoTo. GoTo is a source of great controversy. People don't like it. You read books on Cobol and they will tell you to avoid GoTo, just avoid it. Yeah. And we'll be doing something else instead, and I'll show you what else to do. The reason why we avoid it is because it's so easy for there to be mistakes if you use GoTo. So let's explain what the difference is. It's closely linked to perform. It does the same thing as perform, except for when I do this perform initialization, it goes down to perform initialization, does that paragraph, gets to the end of the paragraph by noting that there's a new paragraph, and then jumps back up to there to move to the next perform. But with GoTo, it doesn't do that. It would just carry, if this was GoTo, it would just go to initialize program, and then it would just carry on down there, and it would miss all of this other stuff up here. And that can cause like loads of problems. So we just try to avoid it altogether. However, if you're in the real world and you're working on a Cobol program that was written 20 or 30 years ago, then it's probably going to have GoTo in it. So you need to know what it is, how to recognize it, and why we don't use it. Okay, so in this program here, the next perform is get user number. Get user number, it basically asks for a number, and this number is going to be entered into counter. And what this program is going to do is I enter a number between 2 and 9. And then it will count to that number. So if I enter 5, it will count to 5. So the next one is perform count. So if we go down to perform count, display count, I'm sorry, perform display count. So we go down to this one. Now what this does is it checks to see if the number is between 2 and 9. And if it's not, then it will display this. And then it will go to program done, and it won't do anything else then. It'll just stop a program done. If it is, then it will perform display count. Now display count is down here, and that will add a number to a variable, and then it will check to make sure that it doesn't overcount the number. And if it reaches that condition, so if I put in 5, it will stop at 6. If it gets to 5, yeah, or before 5, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's 1, it goes down here, it checks it, it's 1, display the counter number, and then it says to go to display counting. So it's jumping back and telling itself to run this paragraph again. And if it's not, then it will stop. It will just stop. That's how GoTo works. It just tells you to go to the next thing. So it's been compiled. Now I'm going to run it, and it asks me to enter the number in. So let's do 7. And now it displays counting to 7, and it does indeed count to 7. So if we do that again, and this time I've put 3, it now counts to 3. Okay, so that's what GoTo does. But there is a way of not using GoTo, right? So here I can change this to perform. And then I save it. And then I go to here, and let's do clear. So if I run this program again, and I compile it, and now I run the program again, and I put a number in that isn't going to work if I put in 1, You didn't enter a valid number. It's worked and then it stopped. So this perform here hasn't changed anything, even though I've put it in the place of go to. So is there anything down here that we could do to make this keep repeating a certain amount of times? Is there a way that we can change it? And that's what I'm going to investigate next. The answer to getting rid of this go to display counting is quite simple, really. All we do is we just remove this, and remember we're going to have to put the period at the end there, and then we go back to the perform that's calling it. So it's this perform here is calling display counting, and then we're going to want to do it a certain amount of times, which is counter, and then we use the word times. So this could be like, you know, if I put 16 times, it would do 16 times, but we want it to do this except, that's why we're asking that number, isn't it? So like that has to be in there. So whatever is in this variable, it will do it that amount of times. We don't put a period at the end there because it's at the end of the entire if block. So now we're going to save. We then go to here and compile and run. Now please enter a number between 2 and 9. Okay, so this time I'll do 4. And there it is. It works. It still works. It's still doing the same amount of counts there.